Hi, everybody. Welcome to tonight's session of Coach Danalytics on Tuesday nights. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dan Williamson, co-founder of The Colony, one of the nation's largest and fastest growing real estate organizations in the country. We provide a training. I provide my training every Tuesday night to coincide with the trainings that we offer through the Wolfpack Weekly. And it's our goal to get everybody in our organization selling the most amount of real estate possible, becoming the best version of themselves possible, and finding success and balance in their lives. So without any further ado, let's get going. Let's get started. Tonight's topic of discussion is how to double your sales. So we'll spend a lot of time last night thinking about, we contemplate all the time, we brag all the time about the 60% of our agents that are outselling the national average. And we are very proud of that. We believe in the consistency of what we teach, of our business plan and our habits and the website and the social media training and the things we provide. But, still, even though, it's much better than every organization in the country, there's still 37% of our agents not selling the national average. So what can we do to help them? So what I wanted to do is design a training to help you double your sales in the next year. And for you, if you're not selling, to get yourselves going and get to 1-2 million, approaching the national average here. So here we go. To get the most out of training, I'd love for you to have a pen and a paper out if you could take notes and kind of participate in the exercise. We're going to ask some difficult questions. We're going to ask you to soul search a little bit to define some clear goals. I'm going to be as open and vulnerable, as honest as I can be as I go through some of the things that I've went through in my career, ups and downs. And hopefully by the end of it, you'll think that this was wonderful training. I spent, most of the night last night kind of jotting down my thoughts and my ideas to put together something that I thought would be really worthwhile this evening. Always try to have great trainings, but really, took some things home with me last night as I was laying in bed. So here we go. We want to talk about the first thing what is the difference between the successful agent, the person who's selling 10 million, the person that's hitting icon, what's the difference between that agent and the agent that's selling 2-3 million? If you want to double your sales and get to 10 million, 12 million, if you're selling 5, you want to get to 10. What is the difference between them and you? What is the difference? Why are they succeeding and why aren't you succeeding? What are they doing that you're not doing, right? So, and that's the trick in real estate, is we always want to come up with, the magical fairy dust. What is the leads, the Billy Buckner leads? Like, what are the leads that they're getting? Where are they getting this leads? Where are they get? What is the magical dust that falls upon a person and makes them successful? And I thought about that. And I was like, what kind of training is out there that could help everyone double their sales? And the truth is this: if first thing, it starts with the difference between them and you, the person that's selling twice the amount as you. The difference is it's consistent habits, right? It's patterns. It's the patterns that affect their life. It's the patterns that get them to achieve. And these patterns are established as early as, our teen years, right? There's a reason why most people that had good habits in high school and college and went to school, did the right things, go on and lead good, successful lives, right? These patterns and consistencies, the ability to follow through with the things they're going to say, leads us to successful lives. So the biggest and most important thing you can do is to have good habits. And the secret to my success is that I always had good habits. So a successful basketball player. I was the first one in the gym, 5 in the morning, 1,000 push-ups, 1,000 sit-ups, 1,000 shots. I just worked harder. Successful in the military. I just worked harder. I did my own training session before PT, and then I'd go to PT with my unit and I'd outrun and I'd smoke all of them, right? It's just good habits. Good habits lead to success. Good habits lead to confidence. Yes. So why does a person have the confidence to go out and sell and talk to people and do these things? Well, they have the confidence through a sustained effort of good habits. And those good habits lead to success, which leads to more success. And we'll get to that in a minute, right? But it's really consistent pattern of behavior, and it's a consistent habits, right? That's what it's all down to, doing the things that you have to do to succeed in real estate. There is very few tricks of the trade, right? There's very few things that we train you to do that most everybody isn't training on, right? Whether or not they're actually training it is another story, but most realtors are going to tell you it comes down to the same things, calling your sphere, hitting, building relationships, connecting with people, right? But it's the people that can practice these consistently with good habits. Those are the people going to be successful. And I'll give you an example of this, right? If you would please, right? Clasp your hands together like this, right? Clasp your hands together. All right. Doesn't matter how you do it. Clasp them together. Everybody there? All right. Fantastic. Now hold it there. Now let me ask you a question. How many of you are holding your right thumb over your left thumb? Your right hand is dominant over your left hand. All right. Mostly everyone, right? This means some great things. This means you're strong. This means you're a leader. This means you're destined for greatness. Now, what I'd like you to do is change that up and go left hand over the right hand. All right. Now, how did that feel? It didn't feel great, right? It felt awkward. It felt uncomfortable. Why? Because we're creatures of habit. Your entire life, whether you realize it or not, you have always put your right thumb over your left thumb, right? To do it the other way feels different. It feels awkward, right? Bad habits are hard to break. It's just like good habits. Good habits are hard to get out of. That's so much of the importance of having good habits that you do each day, right? Habits beat knowledge every single day of the week. Let me say that to you again. Good habits sustained consistently through good days, bad days, up days, and down days beat knowledge every single day. And I'm living proof. I had a 2.7 GPA in high school. Not the smartest guy, right? But I've succeeded in everything in my life because of the habits that I put forth every day, right? Habits beat knowledge. Habits beat skill every single time. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Talented people usually don't work as hard because everything just came naturally to them. So thinking about our habits each day, knowing the things that do. Now, that is our job to teach you those habits, right? And if we're not doing that, hold us accountable. You know, if we're not doing a business plan with you, we're not, you know, and all these things are available on our YouTube page. But those are things that we have to do, right? If we're not training you, you know, that's on us, right? But if you're not following through with it, that's on you. Okay. So those habits are following through on the things that we teach you to do. It comes down to 3 pillars of your success. It's your strategy, and that's where we kind of come in to help you with your strategy. It's your action, right? So through these good habits, you should feel good and create more action, right? Action creates sales, right? The more action you do, the better off you do. The problem is if we get in a rut, you take less action. When you're less motivated, less action leads to less sales, right? You can't get out of bed. You can't get out of your own way. You got 3 things cluttered in your brain. You get rejected 6, 7 times, you know, and then you take less action. Less action is never a recipe for success. More action is always a recipe for success. Let me say that again. More action is the recipe for success. So if you're struggling or if you're selling 3 and you want to sell 6, more action, right? Less excuses, more action. You know, it sets off a core belief about yourself, right? Is, you know, we have a belief. And the more we fail, the more that belief is reinforced that we're not going to be successful in real estate or whatever it is in life that we do. But the more we're successful, the more that belief builds. And then confidence builds more confidence, right? For the large part, for the large amount of time, right, is the truth is this, is we're 20% responsible for your success. The people that you join XP with, our trainers, our developers, we're 20% responsible for your success, right? That's true in any organization. It's our job to give you the basics, to give you the understandings, the business plan, the marketing, to set you, this is how you open doors. This is how you do a contract. That's our job. If we don't do that, light us up, baby. But 80% of success is on you. 80% of success comes from your desire to succeed, from your ability to get through the tough days, from your day to practice good habits. And that's the truth. 80% of it is on you to follow through and execute your plan, right? Not to be overly critical, but that's the truth. 80% of your success really comes down to you. And a lot of times we have agents that leave and whatever, and that's always tough. You know, that we never want to see anybody leave. We've never had anybody leave that ever sold a house at another brokerage, right? So your success is on you. Think about the things that you could be doing, right? We have the Wolfpack with a database of over 7,000 trainings on anything under the sun. We have a YouTube training on almost every single topic you could possibly ask for. We have Connor calls on Mondays that have all the things on how to recruit. But the truth is we don't use these tools. I think in the last 3 months from our Connie agents, maybe only 6 clicks on any of the trainings, right? They're there for you. You've got to take advantage of it. That part has to come from you. We'll provide it. You've got to take advantage of it and get to it. The Wolfpack has all kinds of masterminds that are right there. Me and Joe were talking about the other day. There's a YouTube training course on how to do an entire YouTube training course. There's anything you could possibly need, every resource under the sun. Workplace EXP has a referral network where you click on and get referrals every day. You have every tool that you could possibly use right here at your disposal. But here's a really tough statistic. if you're being honest with yourself, and this is difficult, right? But this is part of the breakthrough tonight of breaking through our mindset, of changing the way we view ourselves. If you're being honest with yourself, how hard are you really working? Like, let's just be real honest. Are you working at 100% of your capability in this business? Are you at 80? Are you at 50? Are you giving this 50% of what you're capable of? Be honest with yourself. Write it down on a sheet of paper. Be honest with yourself. How hard are you working at this? 20%? Did you know a shocking statistic for realtors, if they're polled and asked honestly, would say they're only giving about 20% of what they could to their business? That is nuts, but that is truth. Most of us are working at about 20% of our capability. It's hard to find mass success and take mass actions if you're only working at 20% of your capacity, right? And if I'm being honest with you, and I'm going to be honest a little bit later, I'm only working about 65. Or I'm coaching high school basketball. There's a lot of things I could be doing. I make excuses. I should be the #1 EXP agent in the damn world, and that's the truth, right? But I make excuses. Oh, I don't have to do technology. I'm an old man. I need a social media director. Bullshit. You know what I really want to do if I want to be the #1 agent? I'll pick up that phone and I'll call 200 agents a day because there's no one better at selling this model than me. I know in my heart I could have 1,000 agents in a year if I cold call for 2 hours a day, and I'll do it. Why? Because I like some other things better. Right? Even I could be more disciplined, and I'm crushing it in sales and everything else, recruiting everything. But even I am only operating about 65%. But if the average realtor is at 20%, you have to ask yourself, what are we doing here? Because you're leaving 80% of your potential out there, 80% of your income out there. If you're making 100 grand, you're operating at 40%. That means you could be making almost 300,000 if you truly gave it 100%. But you can't give it 100% if you don't have structure, organization, and the habits to do these things each day, to generate and go out and get the business, right? Why? Next question. Why? Why are you only operating at 20, 30%? If that's your number. If you're being honest, for a lot of us, it is. What's holding us back? You could type it in the chat if you want to, if you feel comfortable doing that. If you want to really participate and dig deep here, I'm going to share some vulnerability, but you know, for me, sometimes it's motivation. I don't go to the gym. I'm a fat ass. I was in the best shape of my life in the military. I'm 245 pounds. I don't practice good habits when it comes to my health. I make excuses every morning why I don't go to the gym. So not good habits leads to not good success, right? How much more sales would I have if I was as good looking as I was in the military? At least another 20 million. Right? Queen will tell you, sex sells. Put that uniform back on. I'm all fit. I'll probably sell another 10 million, but I'm being serious. Poor habits. I got to change that. I got to be more disciplined. At the gym, my health weight is, I'm operating by 1. All right. I find myself comfortable. All right. I love that. We're comfortable. All right. We're making enough money. We're comfortable. That's a good reason. Write down the 3 things. If you really want to get to double your sales, write down the 3 things on a sheet of paper that are stop you. Comfort, fear. Oh, Jackie, I love that. Fear. Let's be honest. We're scared. We're comfortable. Oh, somebody text me imposter syndrome. I feel like I'm an imposter. Somebody told me today, fear of the internet. They don't want to be seen on the internet. Fear people will laugh at them. Family, kids. Man, little suckers suck up all your time, but we love them. What else is getting in our way? What's getting in your way? The market. I hear that all the time. The market. The leads. Can't find the leads. They're not out there. The leads. What else? What else is getting in our way? What else is stopping us? Oh, we got another one. Oh, it was Jackie. Comfort, fear. Love me some Jackie. Comfort, fear. What else we got? Fear of being vulnerable. All these things, whatever it is. No clarity. Yeah. Overwhelmed, full-time job. Imposter teens. Got some teenage kid. No direction. Lisa, no direction, right? We've got all of these things in our brains, like all these things stopping us from being successful. All right. Here we go. So these things, a lot of times, is what we call BS. The BS is our belief system, not bullshit. So don't go write me up on ASP. It's our belief system. But that belief system is what stops us from being the absolute savage that we need to be. Right? Any of those things we can overcome. You will never earn, you'll never outlove, and you'll never outcreate your belief system in yourself. If you put these mental blocks in front of yourself, if you put these excuses in front of yourself, like I do going to the gym every day, you're going to not succeed and you're not going to live up to your full potential. Right? And then what's the alternative? The alternative would be not to do this and to go and get a regular job where you're allowing another person to dictate your worth. That to me sounds like hell. If you want to ask me, like, what does hell sound like? Hell to me sounds like going back ever to a place of employment where another man gets to tell me when I can take a vacation with my kids, when I can piss, and when I can leave for the day. That to me is the epitome of hell. I'm not going back to hell. I'm going to make some changes, right? I'm going to try to up and double my sales immediately, right? So specific goals are what's going to drive you to stay conformed with exactly what you're doing. Specific goals in your habits. What are the specific goals you're going to do? What are the things that you know you can do to succeed at this job, even if you don't like them? What are those things that you can do every single day? What do those habits look like? And are you going to do them? You have to write it out. Right? For me, I need to cold call agents an hour a day. Well, okay, so that's a great point. It's the same thing. You go to the gym every day. You're disciplined in that. You have good habits in that, and you look amazing, right? So it's the same thing in real estate as going to the gym. We have bodybuilders on the team that go to the gym every single day. It's the same thing. Good habits, good plan. You know what to do in that gym, right? The trainer shows you what to do, but it's up to you to go out and do it. It's the exact same thing. It's a great example. So set specific goal in your habits, success goal in your business. What is the goal? If it's 6 million, you got to go for it like a freaking psycho. If it's 10 million, you got to go for it like a fanatic. Like nothing will stop you between that and that goal. It can't be, I did it for an hour and I'm tired. Or it can't be, I tried this once and it didn't work. It's got to be, no, I'm a maniac and I'm not going to stop. And if only one thing is working for me, I'm going to do that. I talked to the agent the other day, a young man, really care about him a lot. He's out west. And he says, all I'm getting is rentals. He just started. A lot of times I have huge issues with our mentor program because he's like, they just throw them rentals. They don't know what to do with them, which frustrates me. But I said, listen, take all your renters, feed them to a terrible loan person that can get anybody done. He fed them all to Acre. He's got 2 or 3 people going now, buyers. Right? There's always something that we can be, an action we can be taking to move ourselves forward, right? So goals in your business, goals in your personal life. I want to be a phenomenal father, not just a good father. Like I gave this to my son today about his habits, sleeping late, eating Oreos in bed. You know what I mean? Like I was like, you got to do your math and we got to go to bed at 9. I want to be a great husband. I want to be a great friend. I take that friend stuff to a whole different level. I've always been that guy. I'll follow you outside. I don't care if it's your fault. I'm there nights, days, weekends. I take that friendship stuff to a whole different level, probably because I'm a foster kid. But I fill that void. I always wanted people to be there for me in my big moments, even though nobody ever was. So in return, I was there for them in their biggest moments. When something happens, you're a crisis, you can count on me to be there. I'm going to be there because I always want people to be there. When I was in crisis growing up, I didn't have anybody. So I became that person for others, right? I want to be a great person. That's the truth. I got to work hard at blocking more time with the family, creating more experience with the family. I got to do better at that, right? So setting specific goals in your habits, your business, your personal life. right? Because your BS is stopping you. So the BS has to go where the BS belongs. The excuses and the things that are on your back have to go somewhere else because we don't have time for them anymore. Now that you've identified what's holding you back, you got to figure it out, right? Because there's a way to overcome them. Because what will happen, right, if you don't, exactly what I said, your belief system will drag you down. You'll start to fail. You'll start to feel bad about yourself, right? You can't sell any homes. I can't get anything going. And then you stop taking actions because you're beat up and upset. You're feeling defeated. Then you feel bad, right? Then it becomes victim. I'm a victim. This is terrible. The market, I can't sell here. Nobody wants to buy. The rates are too high. I don't have the time. Dan said he was going to love me. He doesn't. I hope no one says that. But a lot of times in real estate, they do turn on their team leader or whatever. And then you start this bad belief system. And then that can affect every other part of your life. I've seen it happen. Things go bad at work. I'm not a great father. I was stressed out, man. Coach basketball, I lose. I used to come home and I, throw a fit. Everybody in the house could get it. You know what I mean? That's not good. So when you're not successful, it affects, think about how it affects every single part of your life when we're not successful. Right? When I come home and I'm closing deals, I feel like the king. I feel like my wife looks at me. I'm a little more handsome with this bald head. I close a big deal. I got a big check. All of a sudden, she loves me a little more. That's beautiful. But it can affect your whole thing. Right? The truth is this. There is no action that can change your success but you. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. The only thing that can change and really change your level of success is yourself. I'm a phenomenal coach. I can give you tactics and things that can help you. But at the end of the day, the only thing that can really change and catapult you up to double your sales is yourself. That's where the change has to come. Instead of 20%, you got to go to 80. If you're at 30, go to 50. You've got to commit to what you're doing every single day to keep growing this thing. Daily action is a must. You got to fight the bad days, the hard days, the tired days. You think there's probably 120 days, 140 days. Even the most motivated people don't feel motivated. When you bust your ass and work on those days, that's the difference between 10 million a year and 2 million a year in sales. That's the difference. The days you don't want to do it, you got to find that motivation. For me, I don't want to go back to having a boss ever, but for me, it's real simple. I hate to be this vulnerable, but I'll tell you the truth. I keep a picture of the farmhouse I grew up in the bathroom. And I look at that and I think of how poor I was, how I could see my own breath. And I'm like, listen, you got that choice or you got this choice. And for me, it's simple. I'm going to live a life of awesomeness. That's just it. That's what I'm going to do. And if I got to call Fizbos and knock on doors and get in that truck and make it happen every single day, go to pizza shops, hand out my card, talk to people, make people laugh, flirt a little bit, not a ton, just a little with the blue eyes, whatever it takes, I'm going to do it, baby, because the alternative is poverty or going and having a regular job, and I'm not going to do that. My family don't deserve that. So the daily action is a must, even through the tough days, right? No activity, we quit, we never live up to our best lives. That's how important this is. For some of you, you're shooting a shot at being an entrepreneur, and if you fail, it's back to average. And I don't want that for anybody. I don't want that for anybody that joined EXP with us. I want the dream. I want 10, 20 agents underneath you. I want passive income. I want you flipping homes. I want you selling 8, 10 million a year. But you got to want it as bad as you want to breathe. Because even the best real estate team leaders, coaches in the world, all they can really do is give you a good plan, motivate you, teach you the tactics, teach you the techniques, and then you got to go out and do it. I mean, that's the truth. That's where it's at. 10%. Some people working at 10% capacity. You can't make it like that. You got to do it, baby. So, you do that things, downfall. Think about some BS in your personal life. All right. What is that doing to you? How long has it been there? Some of these things you talk about, fear, lack of motivation, insecurity. You got to deal with that stuff, guys, because you got to push the BS away. So whatever it is that's holding you back, you got to deal with it. How long has that BS been affecting your personal life? It could affect your children. It could affect your wife, your husbands. It could affect you ever feeling good about who you are. You got to deal with it. You got to get that bad belief system gone. Anything that makes you feel negative, gone. Change it to a positive. I talk about, the fall. I had to change that. Stop trying to find a family everywhere and just be great. Start my own family. Stop worrying about the hand I was dealt and make it better. I had to get that BS out of me, or I was never going to be a coach or a military leader or anything. I had to deal with that shit. You got to deal with your BS, deal with your belief system, get rid of that negative feeling, get rid of the things that are holding you back. It's scary. It's scary to be the best version of yourself possible, but that's the ticket. You want to double your sales, triple your sales, get off your ass and go make it happen. That's how you do it. That's the truth. But you got to get rid of everything that holds you back. Assuming we're doing the right things. Listen, business plan, marketing, branding, the FISBO training, the things we offer, we got to do that. It's all online. It's on YouTube, but I'll always do a one-on-one with you. I'm going to do my part. It's not to say you're alone. Like, I'm not trying to take all accountability off the colony. We're here to help. The Wolfpack's here to help. But applying these things, getting motivated, that's the trick. That's what's taking me to where I am. Not no special sauce. I've never paid for no leads. They're all the same. The pay for leads, they're all the same. Woo! How much does it affect your business and your finance? Quite a bit. Quite a bit. How much could you really make if you were all in? Let's just be honest. If you were an absolute savage and you got up every day and you went after this EXP life with everything you had, I'm recruiting agents an hour a day. I'm going to do money-making activities every day. I'm going to hand out 10 cards every day. If you really followed the business plan I did when you first got here, and if I haven't done with you yet, please get a one-on-one with me scheduled. But if you really follow that business plan, how much do you honestly think you would make? At least 200,000, at least. Because in there is 20 to 30 really good leads a month that you'd pay zero for. How much of that business plan that we did together that first day, remember how excited you were? What happened to that excitement? Some of you may be crushing it, right? But could you do twice as much? Sure. If we had on the business plan, call an hour a day, call 2 hours, right? More activity leads to more self-esteem. More better habits leads to more action, leads to the success we want. You can do it. This isn't fun. I feel like I'm preaching to you. And most of the time I'm like so high energy, but the truth is, like, sometimes a good coach tells you what you got to hear. This is a tough lesson, right? It's not fun. I have to tell my basketball team this lesson. You want to be great? Why aren't you in the gym more? Why aren't you here in the morning shooting? Why aren't you in the weight room every day? Right? My great players, there's one common theme in my great players. My best players I've ever coached were my hardest workers. Hey, yeah, absolutely. Let's sit. I was going to sit down and go over with you on the phone. We actually did it a couple times together. The first day you got licensed, I was on my porch. We ran you through like a day by day, but let's do it again. Let's redo it. Go through what's working and what's not working. Love to help. You know I love you to death. I'd love to help. And that goes for anybody. If you want to redo your business plan, every quarter we should be redoing it and talking about what's working and what's not. If it's not working, get rid of it. If it is working, double down on it. Add more to it. Yeah, man. So if you don't change the bad habits, the belief system, you don't turn that around to seeing yourself as unbelievably successful, you don't change that mindset. And the only way to do it is through good habits and seeing success and more success. If you don't change it, you're going to end up, everything in your life is not going to be what you want it to be. Not your finances, not your business, not anything. The only thing you can really change, like I say, you can't change the weather, you can't change the rates, you can't change anything. You can only change yourself. You know, how much more can you make? 30, 50, 100% more? Sure. All these other areas will be affected. Massive actions You know, your belief system will change. Your better life will change. You'll become in what I love to call an upward success cycle. Success begats more success. That is the truth. Turn on that inner savage and watch how fast everything changes. Your relationships change for the better, move every relationship forward. But the people that you need to be successful will flock to you faster when you've got some success. The conversations I have now compared to the conversations I had 6 years ago are ridiculous. Right? The conversation I had 6 years ago used to be like how to survive. Now it's like how to open this business, how to start this business, how to borrow money for this development, how to get enough money for this flip. You know, you pay for the house, I'll do the flips. Those conversations grew because I grew. You got to get in that upward success cycle. And once you're there, it's hard to knock you back down, but it's getting there first. It's working like a maniac to get there. That is the domino, guys. That is the domino. You got to sacrifice at least for 2 or 3 years to get in that upward success cycle, and then you're there. And then it's not as hard. 90% of realtors do the same things. They only do 2 hours a day on their business, but they'll do the same things over and over again. Every day. You can't succeed like that. You got to pivot. You got to change. You got to look at what's working, what's not working. You got to change with the times. When I started doing social media, I tripled my sales. I thought social media was stupid. I was dumb. I thought, hey, listen, I'm charismatic. I'll just, it's my personality. That's what grows my business. When I decided to try social media, I skyrocketed. You want a different result, you got to become something different. That's the truth. You want a different result, you got to mimic the most successful people in your life. The way they talk, the way they walk, the way they work, the way they think, get around them. You become the people you put around yourself. Become a person of influence. That upward cycle of success, you become someone who starts to influence people. And once you're seen as an influencer, then sales is easier, recruiting is easier, success is easier. Because you're a person of influence then. People listen when you have a sales record of success. People say all the time, I have trouble recruiting because I haven't sold many homes. While the model sells itself, when you have some influence, everything does become easier. When I walk into a house, I say, yeah, I hit Icon last year. I've sold 300 homes in the last 4 years. Makes it a little bit easier to get that list, and you got to get that success. No fear. Health is wealth. So if you're honest with yourself tonight, take a look at those weaknesses, your belief system that you wrote down, and go about changing it. Go about executing it. Go about being the best version of yourself possible. This is the truest way that I can get you to double your sales the quickest, right? There's all kinds of successes. There's all kinds of tactics and techniques, working with buyers, working with sellers. We've exhausted those. They're all on our YouTube page. Click on them. Listen to them 100 times. It's great information. It's the absolute best. But the biggest problem is we know what to do, but we don't do it. That's 90% of the reason why anybody's not selling what they hope they could. We know what to do. We choose not to do it. If you don't know what to do, that's on us. Give me a call, schedule a one-on-one. If you need to redo it, that's okay, right? That's fine. If you don't remember something, let's go back over it. I'm here. I love everybody. I want everybody to succeed. The last thing I want is for anybody to not be the best version of themselves. But I love you. It's scary. It's scary to be the best version of yourself, to put away things that are holding you back. And like I said, even I got to do it with the gym. This got me fired. Tomorrow, I'm getting up. I'm going to the gym every day. That's it. No more fooling around. You're going to see me in 6 months. I'm going to look the way I did when I was in the military. That's that bald, right? Because I'm done. I'm too motivated. I'm too disciplined to be a chubby bubby. I'm just not going to do it no more, right? I'm going to look so good in my suits. I'm probably going to double my sales just for how I look in my suits. Let's go, right? And the same thing with recruiting. I make all the excuses. I know I could be the top EXP agent in the world, but I make all the, I need a social media person to put me out there on my, what do you call those things? Podcast. It's a podcast. I got the talent to do it with the phone. You're beautiful. What do you got? Questions, comments, concerns? I love you. I hope this hit you right in the heart. What do we got? Anything. Please know how comfortable it is to be as direct as this, but sometimes we need, there's Michelangelo. He wanted to make a change. He got on that Peloton. He's still on it. He's like Forrest Gump on that thing. Probably lost 100 pounds, in all honesty.
Yeah. All honesty, probably close to that. And I have no excuse for not, you guys don't want to see me working out, but we talk about being uncomfortable.
to be fair.
Yeah, well, we talk about being uncomfortable. But I challenge you to a few different things, right? For one, the next time you come on one of these calls and you don't have your camera on, don't show up. The reason why we don't put our cameras on is because we're uncomfortable. If you can't be comfortable with us and vulnerable with us, people who are trying to pour into you, right? What's the point? We talk about the 80-20 rule, and it applies in every aspect of the business. Same thing. We can lead anybody to water. We can tell you exactly what you need to do, but the problem is we can't do it for you, if that makes sense. Every resource you have, every resource you need exists. When I started my career at Century 21, before I came over to this fantastic brokerage, right? My broker didn't do anything for me. They gave me a place to hang my license. They made me believe the brand was all I needed. It wasn't until later on in my career I realized that I was the brand. That my own family members didn't know what brokerage I worked with or for, right? Image, perception, the reality that we create. If you can't get on a call, I'm actually not allowed on certain mastermind calls, higher level calls. If our cameras aren't on, they kick us out. These leaders, these masterminds, these roundtables that we attend, if your camera's not on, they kick you out. If you're not giving your undivided attention, they kick you out. You want to know what it takes to become a millionaire? Surround yourself with millionaires. You want to be a better leader? Surround yourself with leaders. You want to be a better basketball player? Surround yourself with better ball players. Same thing applies. But you have to take a look in the mirror. One thing I will leave you with before I go back on here is this, and take it for what it's worth with an absolute grain of salt, okay? This business is the easiest business in the world. All you have to do is talk to people. That's it. That's it. Do you think myself, Dan, any other producing agent in this organization knew what they were doing on their first deal? No, but we grew from our experiences. But what we did have in common was, less the fact that we didn't know what we were doing, was this, that we weren't scared of rejection, that we didn't get in front of ourselves. We became vulnerable. We can make all the excuses in the world. I am nowhere where I want to be. I didn't turn my camera on to the end of this call. What a hypocrite, Mike, right? Again, you didn't want to see all that, but that's an excuse. That's an excuse. I wasn't showing the presenter, I wasn't giving him the attention or respect that he deserved or needed by being able to look into my eyes and connect with me. We're here to help. We really, really are. This training hit home for me because I know I'm not giving 100%. I'm not even close to 100% of what I'm capable of putting into my business, right? And I can give you every excuse in the book. Yeah, I provide. I'm very blessed. That's great. But I haven't reached my max potential. And if you're wondering if you have or you haven't, you just have to ask yourself. Start with good habits. I challenge you. Make a video, don't make a video. Next time you're on a call, all I ask you to do is this. Turn on your camera and give that person in front of you your undivided attention, right? Look, I don't care if you're cooking dinner. Look, as long as you're not in the shower or in the bathroom, guilty of both of those things while being on Zoom calls where you don't want to see me, right? Try there, start there, get out of your comfort zone, right? And you'll be making progress. You'll be creating a good habit, getting out of that comfort zone. Try it, really. I think you're all great. I just wanted to add my 2 cents. I'll keep my camera on, but I'm going back to the bike for part 2.
I love that for you. Listen, just want you to know, your morning calls, a lot of times my camera's off, but I am listening, but it's because I'm naked. No, I just want you to know that. Like, I'm usually in my underwear during your calls. I'm in my PJs. I don't have a shirt on. But I'll start opening up the camera for you. I didn't know you felt that way, but from now on, if I'm there, I'm going to throw a shirt on. I'm going to be there. Great habits to start, though, are this, right? Consistent habits are coming to the calls, and most of you that are here tonight do, but opening them, right? Well, we do these great trainings, and we'll have like 15% will open them, which isn't that different than any other brokerage, but we're providing for them. Great habits means, listen, go to these masterminds that the Wolfpack offers with Connor Monday mornings, Monday nights. That's right in your emails. Listen to them. I mean, they had a great one the other day on using AI, which would solve a lot of problems for a lot of people. The AI is incredible, right? We got to learn how to use AI to stay on top of the business. But here for you. I love you. Lisa's doing a big one for us. California, I got the buyer here. She's got the relist there. We're always here to help each other, refer each other. Don't be afraid to reach out to one another, remind each other which states we're in. We love to get some referrals going to Connecticut. Sarah would love to have some referrals in Philadelphia. So would Queen. Joe's down there in Camden County, just dying for somebody, to work with and do business with. Jackie would love any kind of referrals. Jim, everybody's ready to work. Here for you. If you want to talk more about this topic, I mean, this is something I'm really passionate about. I'm passionate about helping people become the best version of themselves. Can be guilty of being a life coach sometimes. I really want everyone to succeed. It's in me. So love you guys. Questions, comments before we take off? Anything with your deals going hard? What can I do to help? Any questions on anything? Septics, repairs, anything you got? Speak now, forever hold your peace. I know I kept you here a little longer than I normally do.
Well, it's not necessarily a question, just more so like input.
Fire away.
And I think that one of the greatest takeaways from tonight was where you said you have to want it as bad as you want to breathe. And then you asked us, like, what % are we currently giving? I feel like that was really strong. Firstly, I also listened to Eric Thomas, and he also says that, which like, and it's actually ironic that you said it because I've been the whole coaching of tonight was really like ironic because I've been saying this to myself is like, I didn't feel like I was really giving enough. And it was like reassurance. It's like what you put out is what you're going to get back. And so those two really like spiked my heart. Like, oh my gosh, like, do I want this as bad as I want to breathe? Like, I think for me, it's like, sometimes I perceive just a whole bunch of movement as productivity. And it's more so like you said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting something different. So in a sense, I just more so wanted to add my 2 pieces. And I think to work on those 2 weaknesses that I feel you really pointed out, I'm going to use the 3 specific goal like areas, which is like really fine tuning my habit goals, my business goals, and my personal life, especially because like this is more so bigger than me. Sorry if I'm talking a lot, but
no, I love it.
Bigger than me, and I feel like when I write those goals out, I'll really be able to act in a sense of which I'm chasing it as bad as I want to breathe and giving a higher percentage. Because I wouldn't say I'm under like 60%, but I really feel like I could be definitely giving like more on the 100 side, if not over 100. See, speaking into existence. Yeah.
I love that, and like I said, I'm really self-motivated, but I looked at myself when I did this. I did this for myself today. And I wrote down my biggest 3 excuses. And, I'm at 0 with the gym. So I'm getting in that gym tomorrow. We all have to always push ourselves to be great. And that's one thing I love about our team is we're all looking to set each other free with time, money, and freedom. But I'm here to help. I'm a big Queen fan. I think you're incredible. And, you're just getting started. What are you, a year in, 6 months in?
What is March? March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, 7 months.
So you're 7 months in. How many have you sold so far this year?
2.
Still 2? Okay. And you've got how many closing?
3.
3 more. So you'll have 5 for 7, 8 months. Listen, first year you got 5 in the first 8 months. Probably end with like 8 first year. That's incredible first year. All right. Good for you. Good for you. Love it. Love that you got something from it. These are not fun, but sometimes I feel like I got to push myself out of my comfort zone, talk about things that aren't comfortable. It's not comfortable to tell people, hey, listen, you got to want it for yourself. Let's get out there and do it. But, the truth is I got to say this to myself too, right? Because 80% of me isn't enough. If I gave it a 400, I know in my heart I should be the number 1 recruiter in the company, and I'm going to set out to do that. No more playing around. I'm bald. I had cancer. I'm tired from the treatments. Bullshit. Get on that phone and recruit some agents, you lazy, bald, middle-aged muffin man. Get in that gym and stop making excuses. So I'm in it with you. What else we got? Anything? All right, listen, you're beautiful, right? A little different tonight. Tonight we attacked our mind and our attitudes. Usually we attack our tactics and things like that. here to help. Anything you need, let me know. Lisa, let's get a business plan scheduled. Do a one-on-one. Same thing. Ready to go. Any of you at any time you want to do it, nights are usually better than me, but early mornings can be good too. Anybody else that needs anything, Patricia, I know, we'll talk about that business plan again. Talking about our daily themes, and let's talk about what's working for you, what's not working, and let's get you going. Jackie, I see you working hard. I love the rebrand with you, Will and Jordan. I'd love to get some time one-on-one with them. I'm going to go see them tomorrow at the Loud Factory. I'd love to get Jordan and Willie going. I know they're focused on the other business, but all three of you are just so incredible. I'd love to help you guys get going for sure. Anything else, let me know. Joe, you want to ride dirty anytime this week? I know, Queen, me and you've got a week scheduled to just shadow each other. I'm looking forward to that. Sarah's doing great down there in Philly. Love all you guys. Call me. Let's talk anything you need. And Lisa, waiting on that next referral. I don't want to push the guy too much. He's getting divorced. I know it's uncomfortable, but it is coming there in Anaheim. So love you guys. Talk soon.